What is up and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Defenders of the North. We are ready to unpause the game and get cracking with some stuff. Something I want to do very quickly is assign some of our guys to an army so I can get them doing something. I think these units here can be assigned under one commander. Winter Specialist, Old Guard. Yeah, go against this guy. And we will have them exercise. And they will be defending this area. The Finnmark Brigade and the 6th Division will also serve as another army. Under this dude, the Winter Specialist, I think he's appropriate for this area. We will get them exercising as well, and they will guard the Northern Territory. And over here we will have our most experienced guy, because there are a lot of troops for him to worry about over here. And again, we're going for quality, not quantity here. No. I think the easiest way is to do it this way. Okay, exercise them, and they will be responsible for defending these two territories. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but it's what is happening. The game is unpaused. I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit so we can get things going. But the main thing is they are now exercising and moving into positions, and they are gaining some skill levels. Excuse me just a moment. I've had a frog in my throat all day and I cannot get the fucking thing to move away. I'm going to slow things down just a tad so it doesn't get away from us too much. We've still got quite a way to go with our research. I picked some very slow burners initially. And I've queued up the 2 factories. Yep, just trying to remember what I did last time out. These are the 3 division templates we have available to us at the moment. I want to get rid of these quite quickly, because as Poland learnt to their detriment, horses don't really fare very well in this kind of warfare. So the horse guys have to make sure they don't get too attached to their horses, because bits of the horse may end up attached to their face under the wrong circumstances. We have our naval patrol going on up there. We need to get these ones down here underway as soon as we've got a bit of political capital to hire them. I might actually save up initially. Rather than spending it on admirals, I'll spend it on getting a boost to our economy. Oh, we've got some attrition problems. That's no good. That's because they're exercising, I suppose. Fine, stop. We'll stop them exercising, and I guess these guys have to stop as well for now. I wonder what's causing that. Okay. Seems they're entrenching and getting themselves back to normal, and I'll put them back onto exercising quite shortly. Over here we have a squadron of 18 tactical bombers with nothing to do. I'm going to leave them where they are for now because I don't really have a use for them, but we have no air defences of any description, so we definitely do have to worry about that as soon as research is underway for, well, is completed for what we've begun already. And my main focus initially is just getting our ability to construct stuff up to its maximum level. I want to be able to produce things in surplus wherever possible so that we can eventually change how we recruit our soldiers and really expand our defence forces. Again, we are playing very much defensively. If that's not your thing, then this probably isn't going to be the kind of playthrough for you, but we are limited somewhat in how we play, I think. Particularly because the Germans have a tendency to move so quickly as well. It just doesn't work to our advantage. I could recruit another division, but I don't see the point until I've got something that I actually want. Okay, the Germans have remilitarized the Rhineland, and we've completed our national focus for industrial efforts. That is good news. Since we can't do anything aviation or naval wise at the moment, we will... Can we do anything here? Not enough building slots for civilian factories, but we do have enough, so we will continue to focus on factory production for the moment. And we've got the ability to modify our government at long last. I'm going to go after the Captain of Industry because that boosts construction speed by 10%. I know it's nothing militarily important right now, but we're still 3 years away from the outset of the war, so we've got a bit of time and we might as well boost our abilities as early as possible. Now, it's important to notice the passage of time over the year actually, because you'll see that from here upwards we remain frozen throughout most of the year. But down here, winter specialisation becomes less of an issue, so that's why it's really good actually that our general up here is the one with the winter specialisation. Not that I expect him to see much action really, unless for whatever reason the Finns lose to the USSR, but I don't see that actually happening. We'll keep time running at maximum because there is literally no reason not to right now. Maybe you're really good at this game and you're watching me do this and think, what a fucking idiot, why is he not doing X or Y? It's because I am quite new to the game, but I do really want to show it off. I'll tell you what we could do. We could try and improve relations with Sweden. That's another national focus complete. Let's go for armament effort this time, and then we'll begin improving our army. What these can do is boost your research. It's important you select these at the right time you're researching or about to research something equally related. So what you could see on that tree, for example, was a motorization initiative, which basically gives you a research time boost once completed for motorized vehicles. If you go ahead and unlock motorized vehicles before you complete that, then you've basically wasted 70 days because it's been bypassed. See, here we have a 50% research time bonus to all these things. Resource gain efficiency plus 10%, 129 days to unlock another construction time boost, production efficiency cap of plus 5%. That's important because then we can get this, so I'm going to get that. And then we need to think about what else we want. I'm wondering if I should go ahead and get radio quite early, to be honest, or if I need to invest in better equipment. We've already got mountain infantry unlocked. We could start unlocking armour, but I don't know how much use I've actually got for armour at this time. Can unlock a maintenance company. That could be quite important. This is where it gets difficult. Artillery, we've got no artillery whatsoever at the moment. We could unlock a land doctrine. Oh, we're gonna go for a new class of submarine, weren't we? That's right. Let's go submarine initially. How's our construction going? Oh, good. We finished one of our factories. That's smashing. Once we've unlocked synthetic oil, we need to start building one of these as well, because that provides us with rubber, which is going to be very, very useful. Anti-air or infrastructure. It's difficult decisions, to be honest, because as you can see, construction takes quite a while. It'll be early next year before this next factory is complete, and we don't have that many years until the war really breaks out. I'm going to say we need some air defense and some coastal defense for the capital. I'm just going to queue those up and get them out of the way early. The main thing is I've made a good start on expanding our industrial base. There's still a lot of work to do there, but I can do quite a bit of it through the doctrines. Sorry, national focuses. I get a bit confused with my terminology. Yeah, Sweden as well, going after construction effort. This is this is where decryption and encryption come into play. The higher you have your encryption technology, the harder it is for people to get this kind of information about you. And again, the stronger your decryption technology, the easier it is for you to, in conjunction with radar and radio towers, you can add that to the pile, and it helps you identify what your opponents are up to. We have got some political capital, almost enough to do something pretty cool. So what are we going to focus on? Go for industrial concern to reduce industrial research time. Or we could go armor research, naval research, or aircraft research reduction. It gets very difficult to know exactly which way you're going to go, actually. We can go for better infantry equipment, and we can specialise our armed forces. So we get an all-weather expert for our air force, which is going to be important, I think. I'll tell you what, we know we're going to queue up tanks next, so let's go for an armour designer once we've reached the the necessary political capital. It helps if I pause the game. As you can see, we can sort of see some units kicking around near our border, but we don't have any detection capabilities, so we don't know what anyone else is doing. All we get is the news as it happens, basically. So I expect at some point Germany is going to make a move to complete the Anschluss with Austria, and that's our signal that things are about to get cracking. Okay, there's our modified government. Let's go for founding a tank company. And then it's only 30 days until we can begin research on armoured vehicles. See, armour we can really make best use of from within Denmark. Let's go for... Let's go for another construction effort and then we'll move on to the army tree. We've got free military capacity. So we can build interwar fighter, interwar bomber, both of which are basically outclassed right now. Or we could save this production line for... Actually, we've got a need for more weaponry, we know that. We've got no transport planes of any description. It might be a good idea to actually get some submarines into production. We don't really have the manpower to operate them, but let's see. Tell you what, let's start building... No, that's going to mess up our resources too much. We can afford to do infantry equipment. We can't really afford to do submarines until we get We will go for more infantry equipment. We'll make sure our troops have equipment, and then we will reassign that production once we've got some more resources available to us. I don't really want to trade away my factory capacity too early. The Olympic Games are taking place in Berlin. Right, before we start building a Mountaineer division, we're going to go and make sure that we've completed this and completed the army, the first stage of Army National Focus, so that we can get some experience points, and we can use experience points to basically redesign some of our divisions. The civil war has now begun in Spain between the nationalists, supported by Hitler, and the communist republicans. See how the borders are drawn at the moment. There we go. They're going for aviation at the moment. Oh, both sides are going for aviation. They're well ahead of us, it would seem, but that's not to be too much of a surprise. We will be on the side of Republican Spain, I think. Just because it's better than the Nazis having another ally. Right. We said we were going to go for 20% factory output. I think that is important, but we also need... Oh, good, we've got 2 research slots. So let's go for the Great War Tank, something we were going to research. And we were going to research something over here, I think. Improved infantry equipment, improved support weaponry. Oh, we were going to start getting a land doctrine, that's right, for defence. Although that's quite long, actually. Why don't we get artillery, maybe? Or... Let's get a level 1 fighter, actually. We can't produce it just yet, but air superiority is incredibly important in war, and we can't afford to fall behind. We don't necessarily need to have the best strategic bombers. We're not going to be on the offensive, but we do need to be able to control the skies. How's construction coming along? 24th of February 1937, so we're coming along. That'll bring another factory online. Sweet. That's 1 national focus down, so we want army effort, and then we want equipment effort. Nice. And then basically, now we've got this synthetic oil discovered. What we can do is build one of those up here, I think, and we'll build that next, and then we can start expanding our aircraft and submarine operations. And what we really want to do is make sure that ideally we fight our wars within Denmark and Sweden, and we don't let anybody get across to us. So that means plenty of submarines, plenty of running disruption, trying to cause problems. I might invest actually in a little bit of capital. Split that in half. There we go. Let's get ourselves a new commander. And your job No, will be patrol, search and destroy, convoy raiding, patrol for now. Helps if I actually select. There we go, and get another one. And again, your job will be to patrol. Okay, so we've not really pushed ourselves too far as yet, but what we have been able to do is remain reasonably self-sufficient. We're not trading away any of our factory capacity right now. We are working hard to expand our ability to build. So it does appear that we're not really expanding our military forces, and you would be correct in that assumption, but we are not dependent on anybody right now. We don't have to worry about guarding supply convoys of any description. They're not vital to what we're doing. We are primarily making sure that all our troops have the equipment that they need, even though our troops themselves are not hugely spectacular. And we are going to recruit a Mountaineer division, and we're going to base them over here because hey, there's mountains there. Cool, we've completed some projects. Our new national focus will be equipment effort, and our new research will be I think we'll go for electronic engineering so we can start getting a radio going. We can modify our government now as well, so we will do that. We will get an... I don't know. I just don't know. We will get a chief. Let's pause the game a moment. I'm getting lost here. We will get we'll get the all-weather Air Force chief, and we will begin researching light tanks. And we get that 10% bonus now because of the armor company. That's important. We are 3 years out of date with that light tank already. So again, we are falling behind a little bit. Once our new factory is complete, which is a few days away, then we can begin trading. Actually, no, we can't. We'll wait for 21st of November 1937, so that's this year. That synthetics refinery will come online, and that should enable us to put into production our submarines and some new fancy pants aircraft without having to lose any of our construction capabilities for these defences that we're going to be building. This is actually going rather well, if I do say so myself. So next job, I suppose, will be naval effort. And what we want to do is focus on submarinage, because that's where all the sneaky fun stuff happens. Okay, so plenty of research finished there, so we will go for radio to boost our reinforcement rate, and we will go for plus 20% factory output, I think. Improve construction speed or synthetic refinery. Let's go for concentrated industry first of all, and then once the tank's finished, we will go onwards and upwards. Let's add what are we going to be researching next? Naval, because we're going to go for advanced submarines actually. We're not even going to build the class we've just researched, we're going to go straight to the next one. I think that makes sense. You can see we've lost some men now because they are being recruited into that mountain division. Here you can see how ready for deployment they are. We also have an armoured division now that we can put into production once we have completed construction of this refinery. So let's plough on through till November. And then I really do have to begin... See, so in this version, the Hindenburg incident was avoided. So you see a bit of alternative history coming through, and that will affect certain things throughout the game. But in this game, the Hindenburg disaster did not take place. So, important to know. Naval effort is complete, so we will move on to flexible navy. Come on, future. I suppose really what we should also be doing is making friends with Denmark so they let us in when we need them to. We need to be able to pass through into their territory. I need another military factory, so I will queue that in. Amelia Earhart disappears. We're getting very close to everything kicking off now, and I am woefully unprepared, but progress has been made. Sweet, the light tank is complete. We could go straight onto the light tank level 2, to be honest with you. I think light tank, given the terrain we're working with, is probably the best way to go. Actually no, we need artillery. We don't have any artillery emplacements at all. Still not reached November yet. So let's press on to November when I can stop stockpiling infantry equipment and begin production of some more interesting things. We've completed our naval focus. What do I want next, really? Submarine effort. We've now got 4 construction slots for the naval dockyards, but we don't have enough resources to supply them. Nor do we have enough manpower to supply them, really. Some more research finished. I think we need to start getting some doctrines in place, to be perfectly honest. We will modify our government to add a light aircraft designer, maybe? I don't know. Small arms research time, artillery research time, motorization research time reduced. I don't know. Let's get ahead of the Navy. We're not going to be using aircraft carriers, at least not now, so we'll go for this guy. Right, almost at November. Almost at November. Come on, guys, come on. That gives us 5 oil and 2 rubber, and that is very, very cool. We're going to need to trade for steel, I think, but that's okay. That is okay. We will go for improved artillery straight away, and then we'll go for some anti-air. Basically, we don't want to be too far behind in any one area. There's a research slots available. I think it now means it's time for us to... I'm going to go for increased construction speed, and then I need to go for motorization, because we need trucks and things to provide logistical support, or else we're going to have trouble supplying our troops, which is going to be bad news. So it's very slow going still at the moment, very, very slow going indeed, but we are progressing in the right direction. And we've just finished another national focus, so that means I can go for motorization. Boom. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you've had a great start to the week. Join me for another episode shortly. Bye bye.